What's good YouTube, Target here and welcome to another episode of Design and Manage, my City Skylines Unmodded Let's Play series. On the last episode we have built this sunken highway and also this interchange, so I think it's finally time to expand on that, but before that there's a couple of things that I want to do, so without further ado, let's get down to business. So on the last episode I have explained my concerns about the amount of people that is using the buses. As you can see right now, that doesn't seem to be the problem, but people are accumulating. And I also suggested that I should add more public transportation options. But some of you suggested that before doing that, I should manage the public transportation lines that are currently going on in our city. And to be completely honest with you, that is something that I completely forgot on doing. So thank you so much for reminding me. And we should work on that. So in order to do that, we should select a bus and go to this thing, Lines Overview. In this window you can see the total amount of bus lines that we have, and we can also see the amount of vehicles that are dedicated to each individual line. And as we can see, the first line that we have over here has a total of 13 vehicles, and the lines that are more problematic only have around 7. So I should click on this. By the way, this is a mass transit feature, so if you don't have that DLC, you will probably not be able to see this window. But in the right panel over here, you can see the number of stops that we have, as well as the number of people that are currently waiting on those stops. And on the left side, you can see the buses. As you can see, they are moving right now, and as they align perfectly with these other circles, which are the stops, you should be able to see some decrease. So we had 38 people on this bus stop, but as the bus got to this stop, it decreased immediately to 38 because those 30 people got into this bus. So by looking at this bus, we can see that almost all of them are running at full capacity. So all of them are full, as well as having some certain stops that have way too much people on them, currently waiting for a bus. This is a problem. It's an indication that this line definitely needs more bus stops. Not more bus stops, but more buses. So in order to add more buses, I just have to increase the budget, and I think for now I want to set it up to 10 buses. I want to select the minimum amount that I'm willing to spend in order to get those buses, and this seems to be it. And so we should now start seeing some buses being deployed. We now have 9 and the 10th one just got deployed, so let's go and check that out just to confirm. Let's go to our bus depot, and yes, here we have it, the buses. I think we should do the same with the other lines, so let's go ahead and go to the line details again. Let's hit the line overview. Now let's select the bus line number 4, which is the other one that also goes on around this part of the city, and let's also increase it to 7 buses. Good. Now let's go ahead and see the situation on the other bus lines. We should be selecting this one, the green one. Let's go ahead and check it out. This one seems to be okay. We have some problematic situations over here with around 70 people waiting on this particular bus stop. If you click on that, you will get directed to that particular stop, which is this one. Yeah, that's certainly a big amount of people in this particular bus stop. And one thing about this bus line is that it is way too big. It connects this residential district, it goes down to the commercial district, it wraps around again on the other residential district and goes over here at the ferry. So what I think we can do is split this line into 2, and maybe we don't have to spend any additional amount of money on more buses. So let's go ahead and just start decreasing the number of stops. Also, let me pause the simulation because I'm about to do some damage. And there we go. We now have this particular bus stop, and we are going to add another one over here, wrapping around this area like this, and maybe another one over here. That is a good, I think. And now we should have more stops around this particular road, like so. Let's connect this one over here, another one over here, and finally let's wrap around here and go through the exact same stops, like this, over here, and maybe we'll wrap around over here. Yeah, that's good enough. Let's just change the color of it. I want a dark green so we can distinguish both lines. It's good. Let's resume the simulation. And I'm not gonna adjust the number of buses in these particular lines, because I'm gonna let the game adjust to these new changes. But I am, of course, gonna... let me just close this. I'm gonna modify this line. So let's see what we have here. This line seems to be running at about lower capacity, so we have very little people waiting at the stops and none of the buses are crowded. So instead of increasing the number of buses, I think I can actually decrease it. And let's go around to 8 buses. Again, I want the minimal amount that I have to pay, which is this one, and that should be more than enough. Good. Now that we have fixed the bus lines, I think we can actually do the same with the other public transportation options that we have. One of that is the blimps. So let's go ahead and click this blimp over here. This one seems to be very problematic because the blimps have a capacity of 35. Both of them are at full capacity and we have more than 100 people combined, or more than 200 people combined waiting at each stop. So I think I'm gonna increase the number of blimps exponentially, and I think 5 is a good number for now. Okay, finally let's finish this thing up with fairies. So let's go ahead to this line over here. This line seems to be actually pretty balanced. We don't have a lot of people waiting for the ferry, even though our ferries are actually quite full. Let's go ahead and check the other lines. Let's check the yellow line, for example. Line details. This one is not being used at all. We don't have any people waiting at the bus stops, at the ferry stops, and the ferries are actually quite empty. So I think we can go ahead and delete this line, or maybe let me just check which line is this. So this is the yellow line, and it's the line that connects this residential district to our industrial sector. And the reason that this line is not being used is because I think this one is much more time efficient, the pink one, because the amount of time of traveling is much shorter from here to here than from here to here. So actually, instead of deleting the line, I think I'm gonna grab this stop over here. I cannot seem to select it, so let's just hide this ferry line, not this one. Oh, I'm confused. Okay, here we go. And let's grab this line or this stop and actually connect it over here. Okay, so that will give our citizens working in this sector an easier way to go to the industrial facilities. So let's see how that works out, and before that let's actually fix the other lines, or at least check them out. Let's just select this, let's unhide this again, And let me check this line. Okay, this one is very problematic. So let's increase the number of fairies to 4, I believe. I think that's a good number. Just increase the budget. That's good. And we can do the same on the pink line. Let me just see how it is behaving. Oh, this one is actually behaving quite good, so I'm gonna reduce the number of fairies to 1. I want them... Okay, let's lower the budget all the way to the minimum. So yeah guys, I think I'm gonna let the game adjust to these new changes, see how the city develops, and I will meet you in a second. Alright guys, so I'll let the game run for a bit and let it adjust to the new changes. I have added a few more buses and ferries as it was needed, just some minor adjustments, and I have also changed the lines of, or the color of some lines, just so it's able, or it's easier for me to distinguish both of them. This is something that you should do every time you had a new public transportation network or as your city grows, because as your city grows it will get a higher number of residents, and likewise you'll also get a higher number of people wanting to use your public transportation. So this is something that you should do and monitor regularly. We can see that we still have a large number of people wanting to use this particular bus line. So if I go to this panel over here, the public transportation view, you can see that most of those people are colored in light blue, which means they want to use this line. So I think I should grab it and add a few more vehicles. So yeah, as you can see, this line is still having some problems with a very high amount of people wanting to use the buses, so I think I'm gonna increase it all the way to 15 buses. That is cool. Alright, that seemed to have fixed the issue. Let me just double check over here. And yeah, as we can see, we now have a much more balanced bus line, with some of the buses being run at full capacity, but as you can see, the number of people waiting at the stops decreased much more significantly. So yeah, I think that will be it for the management of our public transportation for now. Alright guys, so with this I think it's finally time for us to expand our road layout. I think I want to develop this area over here and close off this area near the highway, and maybe even expand to this part of the city over here near the railroad. So as usual, I'm gonna turn it into a time-lapse. I'm gonna try to expand as much as possible, and I will meet you in a couple of minutes. Enjoy the time-lapse, guys. Alright guys, this was a lot of work, as you could probably tell by the time lapse. So this is the layout that I have developed. It is definitely not final. There are some things that I will probably adjust as I build my city. I have used the dirt roads because they have a low upkeep, and I think I'm gonna leave them for now, and I will upgrade them as I zone some buildings. As you can see, I have also finished up the train line. Well, I did not finish it, but I developed the layout. So I think it is... I think we're very close to actually complete it and connect it around over here, where we will make our cargo station that will bring the goods from our industrial sector to our commercial area. So that was good. Also, do not mind this part over here because it is not fully developed yet. But there is something that you're probably asking right now, which is, Target, what the hell is this huge blank space in the middle of the layout? Well, on the last episode I have left this part of the highway elevated, and I told you that I will reveal the reason on this episode. And as you can see, I have built this couple of roads growing in between the highway. Oh, by the way, let me just delete this. But the reason I developed this shape is because I want to turn this into a sunken park. That's right, this entire area surrounded by these roads will be a very green park. And as I have mentioned, this will be a sunken park, so we will have to decrease the height level, and I think that's something we can start doing right now. So let me just pause the simulation. I will need to delete these roads temporarily, and also this railroad. What else do I have to delete? This one. So I wanna grab this height level, the one we used on our highways. Let's bring it all to the maximum brush strength, and let's just start doing this. It seems that we have a problem with our tunnel, but we can fix that later on. It's no problem. Let me just do this. And I have too much soil, so I need to release it. I need to make a temporary mountain where I can later go grab the soil, and I think this is a good location. So let me just put everything over here. Let's just get rid of all the land that we have stored. Good. And let's keep working over here. Okay, so I have just dug this entire hole, which will be the terrain for our future park. So let's go ahead and delete this ugly tunnel, if I can do it. There you go. And maybe I can connect it once again. Yep, there you go. And let's just connect it all the way over here. Like, what's going on? The slope is too steep, oh, of course. So let's try this again. Alright, there you go. And now that we have done that, it's time to rebuild the roads that we have destroyed. So I think I'm gonna come over here and elevated, it should be almost horizontal, but it doesn't seem like it. This seems to be a problem. Let's see if I can do something special over here. Let me try to make this as horizontal as possible. I don't think I can do much better than this. And connect it over here. That's good, and it seems that we have a problem with the land. Perhaps I can fix that. There we go. It's not perfect, but it gets the job done. And before we connect the railroad, let me just connect this road over here, this avenue. Oh, this one is very neat actually. Let's try to do the same on this side. Maybe if I increase it a bit, that's good. And we make a small ramp. That's good. Okay, let's try to do the same with our railroads. Alright, I have just done the railroad. I think it made quite an interesting shape. I cannot wait to have this entire thing filled with trees. I think that will be very nice indeed. Alright guys, so I've changed my mind and I actually upgraded the roads to regular roads because I noticed I was having quite a bit of issues upgrading these roads because of the different height levels, so I didn't want to have that problem in the future. So I just went ahead and upgraded all of the roads. And yeah, I don't know guys, what do you think about this layout? Please give me your feedback on the comment section down below. But I think that's enough for today. We have done quite an amazing progress. This is really a lot of work done in one episode. I don't know how it will be for you guys. I don't know how long this episode will be, but I'm guessing it will be shorter than usual, so I apologize in advance for that. But on the next episode we are finally going to start zoning this new area and start developing the sunken park. Also, I would like to announce that on the next weekend I will be outside the country. I will be visiting London with my girlfriend, and I think I won't have any time to record an episode, so if you notice that the next episode will be a bit late, don't worry, I did not die and I definitely did not quit YouTube. It will just take a while. But that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave this video a like if you enjoyed it, of course. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you want to follow the development of this city. And finally, if you want to connect with me on social media, don't forget to follow me on Twitter. That will be it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, have fun.